Now, the world as a whole is on a lockdown currently due to this unprecedented situation regarding public health and safety caused by coronavirus pandemic. Amidst this, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has made an attempt to ease the matter for companies, and they have introduced this scheme known as the Companies Fresh Start Scheme. This was notified through the General Circular number 12 on 30th of March. Um, Let me give a brief idea about how the scheme works. So, first question, why did we get this scheme? MCA received various representations from various stakeholders requesting or granting a one-time opportunity to file all pending documents without additional fee. Why we stress upon this aspect of additional fees? Because right from last year, if you have observed any kind of non-compliance, you delay by one day, there is an imposition of 100 rupee penalty per day for companies and for LLPs. This gets quite heavy on pocket when you proceed for doing numerous filings, and default, willingly, unwillingly, erroneously, we do end up having making some defaults, and that poses a big heavy hole in our pocket. So this waiver, it's an additional fee waiver which has been given by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs through the Companies Fresh Start Settlement Scheme. Now, as per the provisions of Companies Act 2013, all companies are required to follow statutory compliances annually. Now, what does this include? This includes annual returns, financial statements, any other form of documents, forms, statements which are specified in the Companies Act within particular timelines. Non-compliance of the same in filing these with the Registrar of Companies attracts imposition of penalty and fines. Now, if a company that fails to adhere these compliances, by default, you get tagged as a term called defaulting company. Now, if this default continues over and over again over years, not just the company, but the directors of the company also get tagged along and attract disqualification as per the section 164 of the Companies Act. The main intention of Government of India, it is to help the companies in India to reduce compliance burden, including financial burden of companies at large, but also to ensure and enable the long-standing non-compliant companies and LLPs to make a fresh start. So it's basically giving you a second chance to come out clean and be compliant. One important point to note over here, this scheme does not absolve a company or its officers in default from any substantial violation of law. You must be wondering, then what is the purpose of the scheme if it doesn't protect you from violating the consequences of violating a section or a provision? Well, that's the reality of the situation. We cannot help in that. But to be very clear on this, the immunity is only with respect to filing of belated documents under the scheme. Let me give you an example to explain this better. For example, annual return and balance sheet. This scheme gives you an opportunity to file, let's say last year or 2 years backdated documents now. You will, if in any ordinary situations, you would have to shell out maybe lakhs of money to get this form filed with the ROC to be compliant. As against other times, now under the scheme, availing this benefit of the scheme, you will be not charged with any additional fee, but only an immunity will be granted to you with respect to the penalty for filing these belated documents. So you are able to file old forms, but if you have contravened in conducting the annual general meeting, which is the basic requirement for an annual filing, if that has been contravened, there is no relaxation for that. You attract a lot of prosecution and penalties, and the adjudicating authorities can take action against you. In much more simpler terms, let me explain. It relates to waiver of additional fees and granting of immunity from launching prosecution or proceedings for imposing penalty on account of delay associated with certain filings. And the scheme's applicability, it is already applicable right from 1st April 2020. It has already started, and the government has given a long stretch period of 6 months. That is till 30th of September. The scheme's advantages are available to you.
Get 300 plus services. Chat and email with our team directly. Get stunning discounts and rewards. Only on Vakilsearch app. Download now.